Hi guys, welcome back. So today I'll be cooking stew peas. Here I have some peas that I washed and I placed the soak for just a few hours, and now I'm about to put them to pressure. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Please don't forget to subscribe before you leave and turn your notification bell on so you can be notified whenever I upload a new video. Now I'm about to put the peas on the fire so I can start to pressure it. So here I have some scallions, some garlic, some thyme, and some pimento seeds that I will be placing along with the peas to pressure, because you know you need your peas to have some flavor. You don't want to just pressure the peas like that, and the garlic helps the peas to get soft and nice. So it's always good to pressure your peas with some garlic. So I'm going to allow this peas to pressure for about 35 minutes. Now I'm going to get started on my pigtail. I paid $3 and a couple cents for this pigtail. The size is not too bad. It's okay. So I'm going to be washing them and cutting them up in smaller pieces. So here I am cutting away. What is stew peas without pigtail? Who doesn't like pigtail in their stew peas? I love pigtail in my stew peas. I would even eat stew peas with just pigtail alone, but I love to have different choices of meat in my stew peas. I tried to find some chicken foot, but unfortunately I couldn't find any. I went to 3 different supermarkets and I couldn't find any. It's not like in Jamaica where you could just go to the shop and you get some chicken foot very easily. It's kind of rare here in Panama, especially where I'm living in the city. So I am going to be boiling my pigtail. So this is my first boil. And I'm going to be rinsing it and boiling it again for a second time. So as I said before, I will be boiling my pigtail 3 times. 3 times, you can't go wrong with 3 times. If you boil it 2 times, it will be a little bit, not overpowering with the salt, but you will be able to still taste the salty flavor on the pigtail. But when you boil it 3 times, it's just perfect. It's perfect when you boil it 3 times. So here I go. I'm going to put it to boil again. So now I have some oxtail, I have some beef, and I have some beef bone right there. I love to have some bone. As I said, I couldn't get the chicken foot, so I decided to add some beef bone in there, So I will only be seasoning my oxtail. Yes, I'll be putting oxtail in my stew peas. I can't find turkey neck here where I'm at in Panama, so I'll be using oxtail, and it's perfect in it because I've used it quite a few times before. So as you can see, I add my adobo, I add my Maggi, I'm adding some garlic powder and some onion powder as well. Now I will be coating my oxtail in the seasonings that I add to it, and I'll also be doing the same for my beef. I will be placing my beef in the fridge until I am ready for it, and I'll be browning my oxtail in the meantime. To my Dutch pot, I will be adding just a small amount of oil to brown my oxtail. You don't need a lot of oil to brown your oxtail, just enough to do the job. And after I'm finished browning my oxtail, I will be removing the oil from the pot, and I'll also be using the same pot right here to cook my stew peas. My oxtails are browned on one side, so I'll be turning them over so they can continue to brown on the opposite sides. So here they are, guys. I'm finished browning them, and I'm just gonna set them aside until it's time to add them in my pressure cooker to pressure them. So here I go, checking my peas. I didn't pressure my peas until it was completely cooked. I did it halfway so it can continue the cooking process while I am making my stew peas. So I'll be using the same pressure cooker to pressure my oxtails. To my oxtails, I will also be adding my pigtails that I boiled earlier 3 times. After adding all my pigtails, I will go ahead and add some hot water to the pressure cooker to pressure my meat. You want to ensure that you always use hot water on your meat when you're going to pressure it, especially if you're adding more water to it, because you want to help the meat to keep its temperature. So here I go, adding my beef. And I'll go ahead to season the pot now. I'm using some scallion, I am using some thyme, and I'll be also adding a few pimento seeds. Then I'll move on to adding my powdered seasoning. You don't need a lot of powdered seasonings in your stew peas. So my go-to seasonings for my stew peas are my Maggi, my complete seasoning, my adobo, my onion powder, and my garlic powder. And I'll also be adding 2 cloves of garlic. So I'm going to be mixing that around, and I'm going to cover my pressure cooker and allow it to pressure for about 40 minutes because it will continue the cooking process in the peas. So here I go, adding my beef bones to my peas because I won't be pressuring them. And I'm going to allow those to continue the cooking process with the peas. So the meat is finished, and I'll be adding it to my peas with my beef bone. So I didn't get to film when I'm adding my coconut milk and my meat to the peas because I didn't realize that I didn't press play on the camera. But as you can see, there is still the ice from the coconut milk because I used frozen coconut milk that I put to thaw out, but it didn't completely thaw out, so there's still a bit of icing there. So I'm going to cover this and allow the coconut milk to cook down with the peas and the meat. So here I go, showing you all the seasonings that I use to cook my stew peas. So now it's time to add my spinners to my stew peas, and these are some long dumplings that you roll in the palm of your hand and you add them to your stew peas. So here I go with just a small amount of flour and some salt and some water. So So I like to start my dumpling off with a spoon or a fork before using my hand to complete it. Now it's time to move over to the stove and start adding my spinners to my stew peas. So I will be taking small pieces of my dough and I'll be rolling it in the palm of my hands until it gets this long shape that you're seeing here, and I'll be adding them to my stew peas. I'm going to continue making my spinners and adding them to the pot, and I'm going to cover it and allow it to cook for a bit. So here I go, checking on my stew peas. It's coming along, and I will be mixing around, stirring around the stew peas in the pot to ensure that nothing is attached to the bottom of my Dutch pot. So the key to having a nice thick stew peas is to mix it around, you know, like get some of those peas all smushed out in the pot to help to thicken the stew. You don't need to add any cornstarch or mix up any flour in any water and add to your stew peas to get it thick. If you constantly mix it around, eventually it will get thick as it cooks down. So I'm going to cover it again, and I'm going to allow it to continue the cooking process. So here it is, guys. As you can see the difference. There's a big difference there. So as it cooks, you just want to keep checking on it and mixing it around. So this is it, guys. It's finished. Here is the finished product. It smells so good, and I can't wait to sit down and taste it. Thank you for watching, guys. Thank you for sticking with me. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe and turn your notification bell on before you leave. I appreciate everyone that subscribed to my channel. And tell a friend, tell a family member. Go on over to Berrylicious Kitchen on Facebook and Instagram and follow me as well. So until next time, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend, yes. And if you try this meal, tag me and let me know how it came out. Until next time, bye.